The Fallout series keeps telling us that war never changes, but that sense of repetition certainly doesn't seem to ring true when we're fighting our way across the franchise's wastelands. These games offer a different experience every time you start over, with new secrets, Easter eggs, and hidden quests on each playthrough. Even if you've explored irradiated Boston to death, the previous games are worth revisiting, as there are plenty of secrets that slipped under your radar the first time around. I'm Jess from WhatCulture, and here are 10 secrets you still haven't found in the Fallout games. Number 10. The Mysterious Stranger File. Fallout 4. This is a wonderful Easter egg that ties Fallout 4 to almost every single entry that came before it, albeit in a pretty small way. The mysterious stranger, a trenchcoat garbed enigma straight out of film noir, has been showing up in these games since the original, helping the player out in tight spots if they happen to be equipped with a specific perk. There are few people in the wastelands of post-apocalyptic America who know the first thing about the character's identity, but one who does is Fallout 4 companion Nick Valentine, and with a little detective work, you can find out more about him too. Valentine's case file on the mysterious stranger is located under the bed in his office at Diamond City. It's a great read, documenting the arcane gunslinger's appearances all the way back to the first Fallout game. Number 9. The Cheers Bar. Fallout 4. Perhaps you did stumble upon this decaying shell of a drinking hole while wandering the Commonwealth, but there's more to it than meets the eye. Near Boston Common and Swans Pond, there's a set of stairs which lead to a basement bar called Probst, which translates from German as cheers. Yep, that means exactly what you think it does. This is indeed a recreation of the bar from the iconic US sitcom Cheers, and all the main characters are present. Norm and Cliff are propped up on their usual stools, and Frasier Crane is sat near the entrance. But they've long since forgotten your name, having withered away to dried up old skeletons. Okay, so it's a little depressing seeing the corpses of the Cheers cast, but even Boston's favorite bar isn't immune to the effects of the apocalypse. Number 8. Sniper Shack. Fallout 3. There's something of a housing crisis in Fallout 3's capital wasteland. Decent accommodation is super hard to come by, unless you're happy about murdering an entire town of people who are nothing but nice to you just so you could get a great penthouse. But there is one prime piece of real estate you can secure without murdering scores of innocent people. Hidden away up in the mountains above Rocco's Last Gas is a quaint little shack made from haphazardly arranged sheets of corrugated iron. It may not look like much from the outside, but its interiors make this a property that's worth tracking down. Inside, there's loot aplenty, including the Victory Rifle, and even a workbench for your equipment modding needs. The only downside to the Sniper Shack is that it's located in a rough neighborhood. Expect to be greeted by regulators or Talon Company mercs every time you step out of your front door. But hey, at least it gives you some easy XP. Number 7. Alien Crash Site. Fallout 3. One of the coolest things that off-the-beaten-track wandering has ever thrown up in Fallout 3, the alien spacecraft wreckage can be found by heading to the MDPL-13 power station and following the power lines to the south. Most players won't need another reason to go tracking this one down since it's a freaking UFO, but just in case you do, there's also a really powerful weapon there and a bunch of rare ammo. The crash site is where you can obtain an alien blaster, as well as 120 alien power cells, which are hard to come by around the capital wasteland. Number 6. AER-14 Prototype Laser. Fallout New Vegas. One of Fallout New Vegas's must-have weapons is also one of its best-kept secrets, hidden in the maze-like depths of Vault 22. The ARE-14 is an energy weapon and a successor to the ARE-9 and ARE-12. It's more powerful than either of those and fires snazzy green lasers instead of red. The only drawback is that it's a prototype, which means the gun breaks after 42 reloads. Still, it's worth seeking out, and you can find Vault 22 by heading to the southwest of the Griffin Ware's sacked caravan, east of Jacobstown and west from the Thorn. The entrance to the vault can then be found at the bottom of the cliff. Number 5. Anywhere I Wander. Fallout New Vegas. This side quest from Fallout New Vegas often goes unnoticed by first-time players as it isn't one you naturally stumble upon. It's tucked away between Camp Nelson and Teachaticup Mine, accessible via a small road. Taking this unmarked path will lead you to Private Reynolds, who informs you that NCR soldiers have been taken hostage by a Caesar's Legion garrison. Accept the quest and you'll be plunged into an epic subterranean rescue mission. If you hold influence with the Legion, you can blag your way inside and eventually negotiate with Alexis over the prisoner's release. Alternatively, if the Legion hates your guts, then the all guns blazing approach is even more satisfying. Anywhere I Wander is a quest worth embarking on. Post-completion, you receive the usual injection of XP, along with the location for Camp Forlorn Hope and NCR fame. Number 4. Infinite Bottle Caps Trick. Fallout. There's an argument to be made, and an argument I would personally make and have made, that RPGs these days are getting a lot easier, especially Bethesda RPGs. Head back to the first Fallout if you don't believe me. Its isometric wasteland is more unforgiving than the 3D worlds which followed, so you might want to call on this trick to level the playing field, should you choose to venture back there for some nostalgic kicks. Every Fallout game ever made seems to have the odd glitch here and there, and this was one that you could exploit to secure infinite bottle caps. In Junktown, you'll encounter Killian Darkwater. He's the settlement's mayor and the owner of its general store, but he's also your mine for an endless pool of cash. Steal from Killian and take his bottle caps. Once you've carried out this amoral act, save the game and load it back up again. All of Killian's inventory should be replenished, so you're free to go ahead and steal from him all over again. Number 3. The literal Easter egg. Fallout 2. The Fallout series is packed to the rafters with Easter eggs, from movie references to historical artifacts, but none are more literal than this one from Fallout 2. In New Reno West Side, you'll come across a gun emporium called New Reno Arms. Head to the basement and you'll discover an array of tools, ammo, and even a howitzer, but that's not what you came in here for. On the far right of the screen is a pot covered by a mattress, and the hand icon will appear when you hover the cursor over it. Inside the pot is an Easter egg. Literally, it's a chicken's egg decorated with colorful paint patterns. Word has it that Fallout 2's development team originally intended for a companion character called the chicken to hatch from the egg, but for whatever reason this plan was shelved, and the item is purely for novelty value. Nevertheless, I think we can all agree you cannot claim to have found every single Fallout Easter egg if you haven't found the real one. Number 2. X01 Power Armor. Fallout 4. Fast forward back to the current generation, and no Fallout 4 players should be without the X01 Power Armor, but many fail to discover it in their maiden playthrough. The game's most powerful armor is easily missed since it doesn't have a landmark on the map, but traveling east of Goodneighbor will put you right in the vicinity. Head to the custom house tower and go southwest until you find the building 35 Court. Once you're at the top of the building, 2 high-level robot baddies will attack. You might want to save your game before this point because they're tough as hell, and they're the last thing standing between you and the X01 Power Armor. Once you've turned these foes into scrap metal, hit the button inside the alcoves the robots emerge from, and your shiny new suit will present itself. Number 1. Isabella Proud's Camp. Fallout 3. The Fallout universe is filled with hidden side stories, some told through quests, some books, some terminals, some holotapes, and this one in particular is deeply tragic. Isabella Proud's camp is particularly well hidden, requiring players to carefully navigate around a number of obstacles in Tacoma Park to gain access to its factory. The camp itself is located behind this building. The camp is populated by 2 dead scientists in yellow radiation suits and a bunch of feral ghouls, including a named one known as Samuel. One of the corpses is that of Isabella Proud, and her sad tale spins out in a nearby research terminal. Isabella was a researcher interested in exploring and studying feral ghouls, and her husband Jason was uneasy about her work. Understandably. After discovering that ghouls are drawn to radiation, she covered both of their suits with a radioactive resin to attract them. Their ultimate fate is ambiguous, but the corpses they left behind suggests it wasn't nice. It's unclear whether the radioactive resin killed them, or the ghouls Isabella was hoping to study were her downfall. That's the end of our list, but do let me know down in that comment section if you can think of any other secrets you found in the Fallout franchise you reckon most people missed out on. As always, I've been Jess from WhatCulture. Thank you so very much for hanging out with me. If you like, you can come say hi to me on my Twitter account where I'm @JessMcDonald, but make sure you stay tuned to us here for plenty more great gaming lists.